Is your pain legitimate and why should I treat it? This Wednesday, we're talking about pain clinics, how they operate, and pain patients like us dealings with them. So let's jump right into it. Is your pain legitimate and why should I deign to treat it? That is the main premise, the main question that is being asked by our pain clinics and pain doctors when us as chronic pain patients sit down in front of them to have our pain treated. And it's absolutely ridiculous and backwards. Pain relief is a human, God-given, constitutional right for Americans as far as I'm concerned. And forcing patients to go through the nanny state system to access very important medications that, by the way, come from completely natural sources and that our ancestors freely used for thousands and thousands of years, including our own founding fathers and first three presidents, George Washington, John Adams, and Thomas Jefferson. They all dealt with pain and they all freely managed it as they saw fit. Now, so the premise, in my opinion, is completely wrong and backwards. That doctor, pain is subjective, y'all. The doctor sitting in front of you has no right to tell you that you're not feeling what you're feeling. You're too young for that. That type of pain doesn't come from that. There are so many different gaslighting answers that we as chronic pain patients, and I'm sure all of you have heard. Let us know in the comments. Give us some. They are ridiculous, I know. And here's another one real quick before we move on that almost all pain patients are absolutely terrified of. We are going to start cutting your medications. And a lot of times it's not even start cutting. It's just we're cutting your medications and that's it. This is assault on patients. It is not. This lady in this X post is talking about how she had this happen to her and her pain doctor's clinic basically retaliated and said it was hostile or whatever. Of course. And this is the type of reaction I wish more and more of us would have. If they're going to cut your meds anyways, at least fight it. At least tell them, I do not consent to this. It's not going to stop them, but it can be useful later on medically. Doctors should not have this power over us. There is no moral, medical, or legal, logical reason for them to have this type of power over another human being. And these types of cuts have destroyed people's lives and ended them. So, yeah. Now, people are always pointing out new assaults on patients via X, Facebook, Reddit, and of course, YouTube. I even found a post about a pain doctor who has had a criminal record for assaulting his wife. And of course, not surprisingly at all, he's medically assaulting his patients. Pain doctors, in my experience, are some of the most arrogant, ego-filled, narcissistic people to deal with that I have ever come across. And doctors in general are like that. And I've talked about this before. The arrogance of doctors alone kills a lot of people every single year. But pain doctors, it seems like they say the cream floats to the top. It's sort of like the opposite of that. Anyways, and then on to this one, this one's talking about a cancer patient having their medications pulled out from under them by their pain doctor. And the pain doctor moniker, y'all, is so Orwellian at this point because they're not relieving pain a lot of the time. And if they are relieving pain, it is the bare minimum necessary. And when they're not doing that, they're assaulting patients physically and at their rights. I mean, assaulting patients' rights like this is just, the DEA and FDA, by the way, or CDC, constantly have told us these policies do not impact palliative care patients, hospice patients, cancer patients, the very elderly. And it is all lies. I don't know how many people have reached out to me at Marlon at ChronicPainWarriorsUnited.com if you need to. I can't tell y'all how many people have reached out to me talking about their elderly parents being cut off from their pain medications and having to try to use the black market just to keep them out of pain in their last months or years. This is happening all over the country constantly. And this is one of the biggest reasons that I have almost I don't really have any respect at all left for the medical profession or medical personnel. I mean, the way that they have bent over for this system and allowed the DEA to destroy their patients' quality of life, destroy the doctor-patient relationship, and a lot of them not only didn't fight it, they actively supported it. Like, Prop and what's his name? I can't remember the guy's name, but Prop and the dude who runs this, and then the American College of Physicians, those are two huge ones that helped the CDC write the 2016 opioid prescription guidelines, which is probably one of the most damaging medical documents of all time. It has no basis in medicine, science, morality, or anything else. It's all traditional pain medications are bad. And that's it. It's all feeling. And then the last one I mentioned her at the top, opposing non-consensual cuts to her pain medications, which are much needed. And like I said up at the top again, I have no doubt that a huge number of us would love to give our pain doctors a piece of our mind, right? These are not nice people to be around. And the people say that we pain patients just are looking for a high. We're using our pain as an excuse for drugs, all that type of bullshit. Excuse my language. I don't curse very often in the long forms, but that deserves it. All those type of people, they show their ignorance right off the top by thinking that we would be willing to subject ourselves to the torture of the pain clinic system and how pain patients are treated just to go about trying to get a high. If we wanted to do that, there are much cheaper, easier, less dehumanizing ways to go about it. But they still say that type of stuff. And I'll go, okay. Fighting back against your doctors when they're non-consensually cutting your meds like this isn't going to stop them, like I said at the top, but it can help legally later on. And if more and more and more patients just start saying, I do not consent to this, I do not think this is right, and I want it noted in my medical file, as well as starting to record audio of all of your doctor's appointments with your pain doctors. If you live in a one consent state, check your laws. I live in Alabama, which is a one consent state. I can record anybody I want to in the state of Alabama in their presence without telling them that I'm doing so. Okay? Your state may have two-party consent, which means recording someone like that and then trying to use it later on would be illegal. So check your state laws. Now, coming up last, the DEA has made it extremely difficult and dangerous for the few good pain doctors out there that do want to treat their patients with compassion and do want to treat pain as it's supposed to be treated. Those doctors are treated like criminals by the DEA, and a huge number of them that they have perp walked from California, Oregon, and other places over the last several years are those types of doctors. They are not pill mills. They are not breaking the law. They are providing people who are living in pain deserts, basically, pain refugees, as they're often called, that cannot access their God-given right to effective pain relief because of the DEA, bureaucrats with badges, taking complete control of the pain management system in this country. If you want to know what government-run healthcare can look like and how many people it can harm and or kill, just look at the pain management system and the fentanyl crisis, which has been created by every single action that our federal government and DEA has taken to stop the opioid epidemic since 2016. They've made it nothing but worse. Now, last, only us as pain patients are forced to show that we deserve our pain to be treated. They don't do this with diabetics. They don't do it with people with broken legs. They don't do it with people with brain aneurysms, you know? The only people who are forced to justify the need for life-saving medications, which pain medicines absolutely are chronic pain patients. It's so immoral and so wrong. Anyways, let me know what y'all think at the bottom. Y'all's stories, like I say at the end of every video, are important and unique just like you, and they are a boon in the fight for pain management reform. That's the whole goal, y'all. That's the whole reason why we're here, to build a grassroots movement for reform and to apply the correct political pressure to start backing the DEA and federal government out of our healthcare, start making it easier for patients to access effective pain management, and return our God-given rights to us. That's what we're doing. So join us, and we'll see y'all real soon. Cheers and have a great rest of the week. I'm Marlon. Chronic Pain Warriors out.